Right then, guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Don't know why that's still playing in the background. A little bit earlier than normal. Bank holiday Monday. I got work again tomorrow, so I want to get a little bit rested up and everything like that before we go back to a working week, shall we say? And I guess as well, like I was struggling this morning as well. We Sean asking like what we're going to talk about, and then literally like a couple of hours later, the whole Trent thing came out. So.
Yeah, I mean, we were just like thinking, well, should we not talk about anything? Should we just say, well, how are you getting on? I'm getting on all right. How are you getting on? But yeah, that came out. Well, I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I suppose I don't know what else we're gonna start off with. Like, I mean, I know that there's a whole thing. Let's tell you what. You've got anything you want to say before we get going, actually, Sean?
So big shout out to number 19 Apparel, who brought out a new line. Now it should be number 20, but they're not going to change the name for the sake of it. But they have some great.
Might be changing it again next year as well.
Maybe hopefully, fingers crossed. But they've brought out some nice stuff. So has SD Designs 2020, which is me. And big shout out to them, and well done to Jen, who won the Connor Bradley tackle, the illustration of that. Jen, you have, I think, 7 days to get to us and let us know the address that you want it sent to. Otherwise, we will have to do another raffle. So there you go.
Yeah. Also, Sean, actually, I've got something I need to do as well. Actually, should have probably done this before and hold on a moment. I just wanted to. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh.
Yeah. It came the other day and I thought,
beautiful.
I'll bang it on like this.
What's the quality like? Is it good?
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. Yeah, I like it, to be fair. I've worn it a couple of times. It's all right, yeah. It's one of them thingy things on the back, with the buttons and that. But it's all right. It's not like the one I've got, but it's all right. It's nice.
You can get like I think it's the dad hat.
Yeah,
I think that's the baseball hat, but the dad hat I think is that doesn't have any of those things.
Oh,
Evening, Jen.
Evening, Jen. I don't know if you heard earlier, but you won the members giveaway. So if you can reach out to us, either via the email or Instagram, Facebook, whichever, and just send us an address, I'll get it shipped out to you. You won the Connor Bradley photo tackling Mbappe. So yeah, if you want to reach out to us, Jen, don't put it in the chat or anything like that. Just if you send us an email or something, we'll say I'll get it sent out to you as soon as. But yeah, got one of these off of AKM LFC Redbubble. So yeah, fuck it, I'll get it.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
I'll end up wearing this to parade, probably, no doubt. So
you have to. You have to. Yeah. All you need now is the mic. The mic with the AKM. That's what you need. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, Sean, I guess should we? And I've not done like a match reaction to the game yesterday or anything like that. So, I mean, for me, just to start the conversation off, I couldn't really care less that we won or lost. End of the day, we're still champions, whichever. I guess these next few games will help Slot make a decision about who's staying, who's going, who fits. And I do think there was a couple of players yesterday that did let themselves down. Like, I'm not talking about Darwin Núñez, because for me, Darwin Núñez has been going for the past, what month we in? May. He's been going for about 6 months. I know. Let's be real. Like, when he scored them goals against Brentford, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is it. He's gonna do it." And I was like, "Nah." For me, he needs to score another 15 goals before the end of the season. And I don't even think he's got one since then. So yeah.
No, I think I mean, he had like a header, and I heard one YouTuber saying it was closer to the corner flag than it was the goal. And
to be fair to him, I don't think it was like that. Like, it probably was closer to the goal than it was the corner flag, but it was a fucking horrendous miss.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the guys had more misses than goals, and when you play, you've got to play it to a certain standard, and if you're not doing that, then that's it. We can't waste another season with him. I don't, like you, believe for 1 minute that the Saudis offered us 75 million in January, because we would have literally snapped their hand off for that. Absolutely snapped our hand off for that. We're going to make a loss out of this. Absolutely. And there's I don't mean to be slating any player that plays for the club, but he's just simply not good enough. He just simply isn't good enough, and we need to cut our losses there big time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've got. I'm just looking at some of the stuff here, that I'm gonna bring up when we speak about the whole Trent situation. But yeah, back to the game. Like, I think for me, for instance, I think you've got. I think Elliot didn't do himself any favors whatsoever. I think he had a bad game. Kwanzaa as well. I think for him, I don't know if you'll agree with this, and I don't know if people come at me for saying this, but football-wise, I think he's weak mentally. I think if he makes one mistake, that's him for the game. He's just gone. Like, I think if he has a good game, he's a Rolls Royce of a defender, and he's really, really good. But as soon as he makes that one mistake, he's gone. He's gone. His head's gone for the game, and I just think that he needs to. I said this last summer. For me, if we have enough depth for the homegrown quota for next season, I'm sending Kwanzaa out on loan. He needs a full season playing every game under his belt, because right now, for me, I think ever since Jurgen left, I don't think Kwanzaa's been the same. I mean, and I'm not saying that because of Klopp. I'm giving it as in a time scale, because I don't think he's done well this season at all. I don't think he's been bad, but what he did in regard when he was playing under Klopp, you'd have thought there'd have been a bit more significant improvement from him than what we've seen. I think we've seen, I won't say like a massive regression, but I do think he's dropped a little bit from where he's at. And I do think a lot of that does come with the issues off the pitch, which is affecting him mentally, which doesn't help. Like yesterday, for instance, when he scored that own goal, it wasn't his fault. Couldn't do nothing about it. The ball was blasted straight at him. But then for the rest of that game, you could just see it in his face. When every time it zoomed in him, he looked like he was shot. He was gone. He couldn't get his head back in the game. And then he gave away that silly penalty. End of the day, don't matter one way or another. With clock, the game was over anyway. But Caicedo was going nowhere. He didn't have to make that challenge, but he did it because he thought, I've got to make up for what I did earlier. But do you know what I mean?
I didn't actually see the penalty, believe it or not, because I had my groceries delivered, so I had to literally try and hop downstairs with the bad back and bad leg, get me groceries in as quickly as possible, and then get back to the game. And by the time I got back up, it was fucking 3-1. So, look, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, Adam. I think, look, it's a nothing game. Obviously, Chelsea had more at stake than Liverpool did. However, with that said, I think when you lose any game, it's nobody wants to lose a game. Everybody wants to perform. And I think with the changes that Slot made, there were some players there that had a point to prove to Slot on whether they need an extra season, they need to be kept on, or they need to be shipped out either on loan or permanently out of the club. And I think some players there, yesterday did not do themselves any favors at all.
Yeah.
And I think, I there's no point in even talking about Nunes, because, other than Trent, he's straight out the door. Straight out the door.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, mate. I just think there's a part of me as well at the same time that's kind of like, let's just leave it a little bit, because they're coming off the back of, the celebrations and everything like that. And I saw some people comparing it to like the Plymouth game, but I'm like, nah. There was like the core of the team played against Chelsea. You had Alisson in net, you had Van Dijk, you had Salah, you had Trent, you had Gakpo, for instance. You had Jota. There were some senior players on that pitch.
Yeah.
So you can't compare it to that. But anyway, as I say, I'm not really fussed. I think we'll see a much better improvement performance against Arsenal next weekend. So
I think we just, as I said to you, it's not ideal that we lose any game. And I think Slot would have been particularly annoyed with that performance. But I think, look, maybe it was. I mean, if you remember the season that we won the last Premier League, we got hammered by City. So, I don't know whether to hang over from winning the league. I don't know. But either way, we've had an amazing performance this season. There'll be some rival fans will say that other clubs didn't do well. Well, clearly because we did better. And that's what has us on top and them not. But yeah, there's nothing we can do. It was a nothing game, and like I said, players have let themselves down. Some of them, and some of them will be shipped out. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah. So I mean, like sticking with this summer thing, then I suppose. I mean, I know we've got a few things ahead and stuff like that, but I saw something the other day and I can't find it now. I can remember what it says, but I was hoping to be able to like show you as like.
Was this the video that you did about? I think it was James Pierce had written something about the certain.
No, it's from Slot. Okay, I can't find it. But basically, there was this here where Slot says, "We will see what the summer brings, but sometimes it can be good to bring in fresh energy. It has already been a good summer. We won the league. Only if we see someone in the market who can improve us will we sign them." And then he says, "On the fringe players, they deserve to play these games because they have trained so hard this season.
Yeah.
Every time they did so well, that's why I think they deserve to play this game. We don't judge them only on this game. We judge them on every day on the training ground and in moments that they play for us." But I'm sure there was something else that said where he mentioned something like, it's already been a big season, a big summer because we've signed Salah and Virgil.
I heard that. Yeah. I literally wanted to. I was like, oh God, Arna, don't start that. Please don't start that. Our obligation is to hold on to our players so that we have something to build on. The obligation that we have this summer is to strengthen our squad so that we can defend our title and defend it well, and not go in half cocked like we did the last time we won the title. Because we had center midfielders playing in defense, which was disgraceful. So, Pierce can go on about self-sustainability and all of that. What self-sustainability means, you have to sell to buy, and it means that these owners are not going to cough up any sort of transfer kitty for Arne Slot. So he's going to have to look at an already fairly bare squad. And what I was saying to you, Adam, was like, okay, you can select 25 in a squad or whatever, but Klopp had 45 and he had more to select from. We have 25. We've now 24 now that Trent is gone. So we now have the same amount of players as Arsenal have with Trent gone. So, what, it's unless you want to bring in players from the academy that aren't ready, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, Gareth, we're going on live early tonight because Bank Holiday Monday and that, so I thought I'd just jump. I did put it up as a post on the channel and that, and yeah, got this hat, mate. Yeah, Sean has been bugging me for ages to get a hat instead of wearing the Jaguars one, so I got this one.
I was like, I designed the goddamn thing for you, and I was like, you haven't even bought it yet. I mean, come on.
So yeah, it's good. But yeah, mate, I don't know. I think what's this? Well, what time is the quiz? The quiz will be towards the back end, mate. It'll be towards the back end. So
It really depends on the numbers, because so far the numbers.
Yeah, if there's
great.
not that many people, here, mate, we'll probably just push it to next week when we go back to like the original 7 o'clock. Maybe might be best to do that. Maybe, to be fair, but got Gary as well saying he's not happy the way Trent has gone about. He will never be a legend at Liverpool now. We're gonna touch on Trent in a minute, mate. But yeah, I think, I hope that, I mean, the media are all saying Liverpool are going to spend big this summer. Like Alex Crook has said it today. I think it got sent to me today by Gavin. Gavin messaged me earlier. Quick look what he put. He sent me some stuff. Alex Crook has said that Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko, and Victor Osimhen are all contenders to lead the line at Anfield for next season. I don't think Osimhen at all whatsoever. I could see Gyökeres and I could see Sesko. And then the next one he put was Liverpool are likely to splash the cash this summer. Just don't know. Oh God. I mean, I can personally see a way that Liverpool will probably spend maybe in the region of over, I reckon they'll spend over 100 million this summer. But I think a lot of that's going to be funded by who goes.
Exactly. So they won't have spent 100 million. They'll probably have spent maybe 20 or 30.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess let's get into this Trent stuff then, mate. What's Gareth?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Gareth, mate. Yeah, we'll probably do the quiz next week. Probably. The numbers are not as high today as they normally are. So yeah. And that is on me. It was my decision to do this early today. So it is what it is. The Trent stuff then. So
yeah,
have you seen the video?
I've seen the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me find what I've got saved here then. I did a video on him earlier on, obviously. I guess we'll just start with them. What's your overriding thoughts then on it all? What is your overriding thoughts on the Trent news?
Well, I've been watching Sky News and I've been watching kind of some of the comments that have been made about Trent, both from Neil Atkinson from Anfield Rap, Garrett Roberts on the Overlap, who's from the Late Challenge. He loves the word nuances, loves using that. And then we had Henry Winters talk about it. And then obviously Paul Joyce wrote an article. And it was the first time in a long time that I actually agreed with him in every single thing that he said in the article. You know, I suppose the question is that could Liverpool have done something if we had have offered him something sooner? You know, was it a case that no matter what we offered him, he would just reject it? Was it a case that, you know, was it a case that Real Madrid got in his ear and said, look, if you want to play for Real Madrid, you have to run the rest of your contract out so that we can then get you, like they did with Kylian Mbappe. That's another, you know, point to make. In either case, I mean, you have to then, I mean, there's no right or wrong opinion on this one. There really isn't. And you know, we're not going to be a YouTube channel that will say, well, your opinion is wrong and ours is right. But if you look at it, amount of appearances he made, 352, 92 assists, 23 goals, 9 trophies. Just another thing, 2 Premier Leagues, 1 Champions League, 1 FA Cup, 2 League Cups, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 World Club Cup, PFA Young Player of the Year, PFA Team of the Year. So, you know, maybe he has done everything. He has done absolutely everything at the club that he loves, and now he wants a new challenge. And, you know, I'm gutted that he's leaving. I'm disappointed that he's leaving. Part of me wants to blame the club for not doing enough. But then again, we'll never know, you know, the full ins and outs of it. The one thing, and I know that this was a point, or Jamie Carragher was going on about, you know, what's the general consensus, and he was asking Garrett Roberts. Now, first of all, Garrett Roberts doesn't know the general consensus, and he doesn't speak for me. And he talks about, what people on social media think and what people, regular match goers think. Well, we're all Liverpool supporters and we all have a right to an opinion. Henry Winters, the exact same things, came out of his mouth. And while I think all of these people use social media as a platform to spread their podcast or to go on and to spread their articles. So, but there is toxicity online, and you will get, a certain selection of people burning Liverpool jerseys with Trent on the back of it. And to me, that's sacrilegious, because the Liver Bird is on that, because, commemoration of the 97 is on the back of it. And if you choose to have Trent or any other name of a player on the back of it, the danger is it's quite possible that these players are going to leave the club. So that's always a possibility. So for anyone to go and burn a Liverpool jersey, to me, are absolute numpties. And that's where I draw the line, for those people that put that crap up online, I think are absolute assholes. Because, this means something. The 97 means something. And to burn a jersey with either of the Liver Bird or the commemoration for the 97 souls that passed away in Hillsborough, I think that's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I didn't say that Liverpool fans were burning a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at some of these comments we've got in here.
Yeah,
I say what I was going to say. Gary says FSG out again with their bullshit excuses. Excuse my language. True, mate. Though, I'm gutted it hurts the way he's gone about it. We could have got 100 million for him last summer. Bond says the only thing I have to say on Liverpool and Trent is why drag it out? Liverpool should have told the fans he decided to leave. Gareth says apparently Trent had no intention of re-signing. I think since FSG didn't let us get Bellingham, Trent and Bellingham planned it all along. I think we get Bellingham, he would have stayed. I kind of agree with that last bit. I have a sneaky idea about something else as well. FSG are very clever with PR. Do you think if Klopp stayed, it would have made a difference? Yeah.
No. Do you think?
Yes. I think if Klopp had stayed, you'd have seen Van Dijk, Trent, and Salah all sign a contract last year. You've covered that one already.
Sorry, Bon, you're right. Sorry, I misread that. He said you can't say they are Liverpool fans burning the Liverpool shirt. Sorry, Bon. You're absolutely right.
Right, yeah, I agree with that. And Gareth agrees with that. But burning the shirt is a disgrace. And all right, Jen. So I'll tell you what I'll do.
All right, Philip. Now we're starting to get the numbers, so we might be able to do the quiz after all.
Yeah, there you go, Jen. If you send it to that email address, I'll get it shipped out to you, love. I'm sure it's that email address anyway. Let me double check.
Is it the one that I created?
Yeah.
Well, that's not it. So you need to delete that one. Jen, don't send it to that email.
I can't find it. Where is it?
So there
it is. I've got that one. LFCAKM@outlook.com. Yeah, I've got that one.
You must have that one because I didn't create that one for you.
Yeah, I've done that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's fine, Jen. Send it to that. Send it to that one, Jen. You're fine. That's true. They are not Liverpool fans if they've been a shirt. Yeah, I agree. So my overall thoughts on the Trent situation. I think this has been potentially a plan since he signed his last contract. I've got nothing to go off the back of that. But footballers nowadays, when you look at them, they plan their careers out. Like Erling Haaland planned his career out. And obviously it's not Liverpool's situated, but he planned on going from Salzburg to Dortmund to Man City to eventually go to Real Madrid. Like that was being mentioned for ages now. So it would not surprise me if Trent has had it planned for a while now that he was going to go at some point. And I'd liked the bit in his his contract, in the statement he mentioned, where he said, "This is the right time for me to move on." And I was like, "Well, yeah, your contract's expired.
Your contract is,
of course, it's the right time for you to go. Not the right time for the club, because the club's going to get nothing for you. But it's good for you because you're going to get that hefty little bit of a signing on fee now for going for nothing. Well done to you." But with all that in mind, I do, you know, the stuff that he's done for the club when he's been here, like the free kick with Origi, those memories are always going to be there. Do I class him as a Liverpool legend? No. Not right. No, I don't. Some people might seem that harsh with what he's won, and there's probably players that we class at Liverpool that have won less than him that we class as legends. Like, let's be honest, Steven Gerrard. He won less than Trent, but we class Steven Gerrard as a legend through and through. And he still did leave the club, but he left because the club didn't want him anymore, basically. Do you know what I mean? So, and if we're going to be perfectly honest with ourselves, he was going down trajectory anyway, form wise and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Trent's leaving the club in its golden pomp right now, I'd say. I don't think this is a one-hit wonder. I think we're going to challenge again next year. He could fulfill everything that he wants to fulfill right now with Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? I think there's something to do with this more regarding lifestyle, and because there's something I read earlier. There's something I wanted to pull this up, and I'm sorry, but I've just uploaded a video as well to the channel of Jamie Carragher talking about it. We'll go over that as well. But
I don't agree with that, Garrett, with the greatest of respect. And again, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't think. I mean, Gerrard is a hardy fella, and I mean, if you did your research on him and his family, he doesn't take any. He's not going to back down from any threat. There was people burning Gerrard jerseys as well, which again I don't really class as a fan, but I think his opinion was down to, after speaking to his family, and how he felt was that if he wins a few trophies with Liverpool, it means a lot more. And I think that was the case. I agree with Jen that Trent's video was robotic and without feeling. She says, "Good riddance to him. He will be another own in the making." Well, time will tell on that one. But I think she's right, because I think it did sound robotic. I mean, when you look at Stevie G when he left, I mean, he was so emotional. I mean, look at Jesus Christ. When you look at Alana when he left, oh my God. Oh my God! When Lallana left, I was nearly in tears.
Right. I didn't know. I was going to ask you whose name did you say then? I thought you said Alan, isn't it?
No. Adam Lallana. When he left, I felt so sorry for him.
But yeah, I mean, this thing I wanted to share right here now on not share, is go over, is apparently Sky Sports News have said that they understand the overriding reason that Trent has decided to leave Liverpool is to fulfill a boyhood dream to play for Real Madrid. Now, there is a clip that is doing the rounds where Trent turned around and said about 3-4 years ago that he would have rather, out of the two of them, play for Barcelona. So someone's talking bollocks.
Yeah, but you see, it goes back to what I say about like the media, and if you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it will stick. And I think that's what media is nowadays, especially at that covers Liverpool. So I don't think they have a clue. I think maybe his ambition was to play in Spain, absolutely. But yeah.
And then there's this one as well that's come from it's from one of the aggregator accounts, the Anfield Talk. They've put this out saying and I've been saying this for fucking months, but they've just said this. Trent also allegedly knew nothing about Madrid's January bid. Of course he did. So if that is true, they placed a bid in order to unsettle him and the squad to force Liverpool's hand in selling him in the middle of a title race, but yet he still decided to join them. Now,
That's
if anybody, and I mean, I don't mean to disrespect anybody, if anybody believes that Trent Alexander-Arnold had not a fucking clue that Real Madrid were going to put a bid in for him in January, right? Then I don't know what planet you're on, because clubs only put bids in when the player has already said, I want to join you. Like,
we're
Liverpool
kind of going...
do it. Like, every player Liverpool have ever put a bid in for, they will have known through third parties that the player wanted to join Liverpool. Otherwise, you're wasting your fucking time. What's the point in putting a bid in for a player that doesn't want to come to you?
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of going against the fact that, like, no one's opinion is wrong. However, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, you're not going to put in a bid if the player's obviously going to know about it. You know, I mean, it's been well documented that Real Madrid were looking for Trent. Well documented. So unless he's blind, deaf, or both, there's no way that he wouldn't have known about that. No way. So I don't necessarily agree with that. But look, I mean, it's all speculation, and it's all kind of like, do we know whether he had made a deal previously where he said, look, I'll run the end of my contract and you get me on a free?
I don't think that. No. I think that conversation happened, but I don't think it happened in the way you said it. I think Real Madrid went to him, if you run your contract down, we'll come and get you.
That's what I'm saying.
If you sign the new contract, then you can forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think happened with that.
But I mean, in either case, I think it you know, I would agree with Gary there. I think the onus is on the club, us, and how badly that they've, you know, dealt with the contracts. I think they've dealt with it very badly. And I mean, if you go off the back of just Trent alone, you know, maybe you could put in the argument that, oh, well, he always wanted to go to Real Madrid. But if you look at how long it took us to sort out Salah, how long it took us to sort out Virgil, how long, and I mean, then there's other players that this time next year will be in the exact same position as Trent, Virgil, and Salah. So we're like, this is an ongoing occurrence, that every you know, time that there's a contract conversation, that we end up losing players on the free. Genie left on the free, you know, and we never fully kind of replaced him. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I keep hearing about FSG are a fantastic businessman, and you know, Edwards is fantastic businessman, and all of this jazz, and we have to be thankful of Richard Hughes because, you know, or do we owe Richard Hughes an apology because we got Salah a contract and got Virgil a contract? About fucking time.
There's a part of me though as well that kind of thinks I don't really blame the ownership for this, because what could they have done? If he's already decided that I'm on my way, then he's on his way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what more they could have done.
Well, I mean, the ownership themselves, you know, they have kind of left it to Edwards and whatever. I mean, they're probably sitting back and have no idea really of what's going on the inside, and don't care. They don't care. So on that basis, I think that's where they're at fault. It's Edwards, Julian Ward, Richard Hughes that I think are responsible. George Maka, I think are all responsible for this. Billy Hogan, They were all responsible for it, I think. And I think, if you want to hold on to your best players, you've got to make sure that they don't leave on a free. And I think that's what's really, really hurting people right now is that we're not getting anything for him. And this is a guy that could have easily demanded or got maybe 120 million for him. So the fact that he's going on a free is fucking crazy, man. It's criminal. It's criminal when you think of it.
Yeah, Bond says here, when the league starts next season, Liverpool fans will forget about Trent quietly. Better players have left. And he also said, sorry, Bond, I forgot to see this one. Matt Manaman said, winning trophies with Madrid was not the same as winning trophies with Liverpool. Yeah, it probably won't be for him. Like, I mean, he did say in his thing that he'll always be a Liverpool fan and he'll always come back when he can and blah, 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 blah. And he always wants Liverpool to succeed. What if Liverpool play Real Madrid in the Champions League final?
Exactly. And I mean, I wish Trent all the best. I really do, but not at the expense of Liverpool. I really don't. And I mean, we can go on about his quality and what have you. He was a great player for Liverpool. I mean, in terms of his passing, in terms of his assists, I mean, between him and Robertson, I mean, they were kind of in a competition with themselves as to how many assists they would provide. But, obviously defensively, there's question marks over that. And that's for another story, another day and whatever. And in the future, maybe to be talked about. To me, he was a great player. And what he achieved at the club, he achieved everything. He achieved more than Stevie G. So again, we can't really talk of him as, fuck him, he's a shit player, because he's not. What he'll achieve, at Real Madrid is irrelevant to me, relevant to Liverpool supporters. But the point is that now we look into this summer and we look into what we can do.
I'm just going to try and... I found this article which kind of goes over what happened, apparently, according to what they've been told.
All right, Muscusi.
You what, sorry?
I'm saying hello to Muscusi.
Ah, sorry, mate. Let's have a quick look, see if there's anything about... I'm just trying to highlight the actual stuff that kind of makes sense. Tell you what, fuck it. You're not supposed to read all articles out, but let's just do it. Anyway, I'll try and do my best for this. So this is from James Pearce and Mario Cortganga. I'm presuming he's like the Real Madrid version of James Pearce at the Athletic.
Can I just say something here? This has just recently come out 45 minutes ago. I'm sick of people telling Liverpool fans how they should feel. That was Jamie Carragher.
That's what I've put up on thingy.
That's Jamie Carragher. After he said that on social media, everyone on social media are cranks. This is now what he's saying.
Yep, that's why I put it up.
Numpty.
So this is titled "Inside Trent Alexander-Arnold's Exit, Contract Frustration and What He Told Slot and Why Now." This came out 3 hours ago.
And who's it from?
James Pearce and Mario Cortaganga, if that's how you pronounce his name. So it basically says that Trent made his mind up and he wanted to tell Arne Slot face to face. And this was during the March international break when the Liverpool right back was recovering from an ankle injury. He went to see Slot in his office. He told Slot he decided to leave when his contract expired at the end of the season. He explained how he felt at this stage of his career he needed to step out of his comfort zone and pursue a new challenge. Slot said to him that he respected his vice captain's decision. "You're a huge part of this team. Let's end it on a high together." Having been reassured that the head coach still wanted him to feature once he was fit, Trent said that my mindset and my commitment won't change. I will continue to give everything from this club until the final day. Do you know what? Let me just fucking stop here a minute before I go any further. Ain't it fucking fascinating, right? When these don't know anything. They don't know fucking anything to these journalists. And then as soon as something comes out, as soon as it happens, Paul Joyce had his fucking article ready on the dot when that came out. James Pearce. Oh, I've been speaking to multiple people over at Liverpool, and they've told me exactly what's going on with this right now. I know exactly what's been going on. Yeah, you've probably known for fucking months, just like the club has. They've known for months.
Or probably they didn't. You see, this goes back to what I've been saying to you, Adam, and I've been saying to people for years, and something that I've learned from doing my podcast and doing my YouTube back in my YouTube days. All right, Anne or Norman, that's Norman. But the problem is that there is a certain clique, and these cliques want to hold on to their exclusives and their perks at the club. So basically, they're dictated to what they say and what they can't say, and the club give out that information. So none of these journalists have an iota of what went on or what goes on. None of them.
Nothing, man. Where was I?
Sorry, did I throw you off there?
No, it's cool, man. It was around the same time in March that Trent's representatives told Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes that he wouldn't be signing a new contract. There was a little sense of surprise at Liverpool, given the talks over an extension had effectively ended in March, with Trent then taking some time to reach a final decision. He was determined to keep the news under wraps until after the title had been won to avoid creating any unwanted distractions. Blah, 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 blah. Out of respect to Liverpool, the fact that a long-term contract with Real Madrid is not yet signed and sealed. Trent has not confirmed his destination is set to grace the Bernabeu next season. Right. I want everyone to just look at, not everyone, but I'm sorry that I'm coming across like I'm fucking a big know-it-all here or whatever, because it's not what I'm like at all, but it's just the wording used here. It says, out of respect, the fact that a long-term contract with Madrid is not yet signed and sealed. Doesn't say it's not agreed. So obviously it's agreed. This has been done for ages.
It's verbally, I mean, it's come out that on Sky Sports that it's been verbally agreed that he's signing a 6-year deal.
It's been verbally agreed for ages, mate, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Hiya, David. Where was I? Sorry. How did Liverpool and their owners find themselves in a position where one of their most valuable assets will be leaving for nothing? And when did Real Madrid's offensive start? So, in the summer of 2023, it was a significant time. It was the first time in Trent's career that he entered the final 2 years of his contract. He previously penned his extensions in 2017, 2019, and 2021. Having been appointed vice captain by Klopp following the departure of Milner, he had expected Liverpool to open talks before the start of the 23-24 campaign, but it didn't. There was a major upheaval behind the scenes at Liverpool. Julian Ward had stepped down just a year after Edwards had left. Unable to find a long-term successor, Liverpool gave the job to Schmadtke on an interim basis. The German executive was tempted out of retirement by being recommended by Klopp's agent. Schmadtke described himself as Klopp's assistant, and his focus was on negotiating transfer deals as the club embarked on a midfield rebuild and contract renewals took a back seat. In November, I'd go back even further than that, when FSG put the club up for sale, but you've not mentioned that one, James, have you?
And it took two people to write that.
Yeah, I'm not finished yet. Then in November 2023, the contract situation was complicated by Klopp informing Mike Gordon that he'd run out of energy and would be leaving at the end of the season. Once Klopp had announced the news publicly 2 months later, it was clear that everything would be on hold until there was clarity about the direction Liverpool were going in. No player was going to commit without knowing who was going to take over and where that player stood in the manager's plans, which is something I've been saying for a while, and I kind of agree with that. With Mike Gordon taking a step back himself, he managed to convince Edwards to return to the fold with greater responsibility. I don't need to know all that shit. Hughes' first call in the job had actually been to Trent's camp to introduce himself in late April last year, and talks started last April for a new contract, with an opening offer made last April. The England international understood the circumstances behind why it had taken Liverpool so long to come to the table, but as he approached his final year, he privately started to wonder whether the 24-25 season would be his last. Real Madrid was already well known, and the interest from Real Madrid was already well known before this point, and he questioned how strongly Liverpool really wanted to keep him. Those concerns were allayed in the months that followed by the subsequent offers that Richard Hughes kept making to him. He would have been the highest paid fullback in the Premier League and one of the highest paid footballers in the world. But by then, Trent was already considering the prospect of moving to Spain. Don't need to know about all this. Privately, he was wrestling with the biggest decision of his life. It was made even more difficult by the close relationship he quickly established with Slot. He loved the new manager, his planning and his attention to detail. And it basically says here that Trent told Slot to be harsh on him as they started to analyse his performances in the early weeks of the season. And it was clear to him that Liverpool would become serious contenders under Slot. Fucking hell. It's helped Trent that there was also so much noise for the most of the season around Van Dijk and Salah. What cut deep was when he heard or read his commitment being questioned with suggestions that his head was already in Spain. And it reached a crescendo in a build-up to the visit of rivals Man United. The player had responded to the reports in the Spanish media that he had already given Real Madrid his word that he would join them by making a talking hand gesture, the one we talked about that. Blah, blah, blah. Sources in Spain indicated they were willing to pay 20 million for Trent in January, but no figures were discussed during a brief exchange. Edwards and Hughes vowed to keep the squad together for the rest of the season, and knew Trent's value to them was much greater, with Slot competing on all four fronts. Liverpool snubbed interest from Saudi for Nunes. No, they didn't.
That's bollocks.
Next bit. Trent was hurt by accusations that he had actively encouraged Real Madrid to put a bid in for him. Yeah, of course. Of course you did. Blah, blah, blah. Try to find more stuff here that's worth talking about. I'm trying to just scroll through it all.
They tend to repeat themselves, don't they?
Yeah. So why is he leaving? He's leaving because he's achieved everything he set out to do at Liverpool at the age of 26. He decided the time was now to test himself in a new environment. Earlier this season, he spoke about wanting to become the first fullback to win the Ballon d'Or. Good luck with that. And he believes a fresh challenge to help unlock his full potential. He wants to experience living and playing in Madrid and having to prove himself all over again. The settling in process should be helped by his close friendship with Jude Bellingham. His status as a free agent means that there will be a hefty signing on fee, but money was never going to be the motivating factor for Trent. If it was, then from January the 1st onwards, he would have invited offers from across Europe and considered interest from the Premier League. There was an exchange with John W. Emery where John said to him, "You've been an amazing player for this team and I can't thank you enough for what you've given to this club. It's disappointing to see you go, but I wish you well for the future." And then Trent said, "Thank you for everything. It's been a pleasure." And that is basically anything that's worth covering in that. What are your thoughts on that, Shauno?
Well, first of all, I mean, and I know Frank doesn't like me very much and whatever, but Frank said that he met John W. Henry, and Ian St. John came over and he's like, "Who are you?" and hadn't a clue who he was. I doubt that John W. Henry knows who the fuck Trent Alexander-Arnold is. So I doubt very much. To me, that's FSG PR at its finest. I don't believe it. I don't believe anything from it. I think there's certain parts, I think, from the whole transition of Edwards leaving, Ward leaving, George Smacka, I believe that all contributed to him making the decision. I think then with Klopp leaving, I think there was a lot of unrest, I think, at the club during that period of time. I think, the whole thing with Caicedo and Lavia was shocking. although we did sign Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Endo, which have turned out to be great signings. But I think there's been a lot of unrest at the club, and we're unsure as to what is actually happening. So I think that might have played a part in Trent leaving. But I think the rest of it is just FSG PR bullshit,
There's one bit I want to touch on actually from Mo Charterer. We do reference him. We do reference him sometimes on this channel, and he basically says here regarding the money aspect of this, he says, "I wish Trent all the best, but money was absolutely and without question a factor behind this decision. He could have easily signed an extension in the past couple of years to allow the club to recoup a transfer fee. Instead, heavily influenced by his brother, his agent, he didn't. This means him and his sibling will instead pocket a huge 8-figure sum of money for Trent to sign for Madrid as a free agent. For that, his departure from Liverpool will always be controversial, and his relationship with much of the fan base will be tarnished."
Well, I've always liked Mo Chatra. From what I can remember, I had him on our podcast, Fenway We Come Not to Pay's podcast, and I've always respected him in terms of how his grasp of finances and the club's financial details have come out. He's always been on top of everything, so I've always had respect for him. And if that's the case, I've no reason to believe otherwise. Then that's shitty, and I think that has tarnished his legacy at the club if that is true. So
Jen says here that Trent's been angling for a move for years and has for winning the Ballon d'Or. No chance, mate. 100% agree with Mo, does Bon. David says that Bella G's to the inevitable and only Salah. Yep. Tony Steele, even lads, did Maka sign a contract extension so Brighton would get a fee for him rather than Brighton getting nothing? Yeah, I think he did. I think he signed a fee with, a contract with a release clause in it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, Schmatka's speciality.
And I see that's the thing, Tony, and that's a good point. I mean, if again, I mean, I didn't see Mo Chatra's comments. He's with Anfield Index now, I think, and he's doing fantastic. And I've always had a lot of respect for what he said and whatever. But if that was the case, or if he really loved the club, why would you not sign a contract so that we could actually get some money out of this deal?
100%, mate.
Do
you want to listen to the Jamie Carragher comments?
Oh, go on.
Here we go.
My opinion of Jamie Redknapp has gone way down.
No, Carragher.
Oh yeah.
Can you see that?
No. Yeah, I was talking about Carragher.
You said Redknapp.
Did I say Redknapp? Sorry.
Yeah.
I like
right.
Redknapp.
I'll play this then. Let me know if you can hear it or not.
Go on.
There's this thing that I've been reading throughout the day. Obviously, when the news breaks, and you've got the reaction of Liverpool supporters, which are different. Some people wish him all the best. Some people are really angry. Some people are somewhere in the middle. I'm probably one of the ones who was somewhere in the middle. But I'm sick all day of reading about journalists or other people who have got no affiliation to Liverpool telling Liverpool supporters how they should feel. They're not Liverpool supporters. Liverpool as a city and a football club is very emotional, and that's what makes us what we are. And that's why you see the scenes that you saw last week when Liverpool won the league. You don't really see those scenes for a team winning the league because we are emotional. Football means a lot to us. So I just wanted to just mention that I don't think people out there should be telling Liverpool supporters how they should feel. Liverpool supporters, like Trent, as Trent's going to Real Madrid, he can do what he wants. It's his career. Fine. Good luck to him. But Liverpool supporters can also feel how they want about this situation.
Okay. I have a take on that if you want to maybe give your take on it first, but I have a take on that.
Yeah, I agree with him, but yeah, go on.
Well, I mean, I think it's cheap coming from him, who said that people on social media are cranks. people that he liaises and talks to Gareth Roberts and asks his, what's the general consensus, and for some strange reason, Gareth Roberts is able to speak on behalf of all Liverpool fans. He mentions the city. Well, I mean, there are global fans out there that are equally as passionate and equally care about the club. And there are plenty of journalists out there, both local, global, whatever, that have always told the fans what to feel, including James Pearce, including Henry Winters, including Chris Bashcombe. So that has happened and has been going on for donkeys, and including Jamie Carragher. So he's telling what the fans should feel. He's telling the fans, well, you've got a wrong opinion of this, and you shouldn't be this, and you shouldn't be that, and you're cranks and all of this. So he's a bit of a hypocrite. While I agree what he's just said, he's a bit of a hypocrite to come out and say that. And yes, Bon, I agree with you. I lost all respect for him wearing a Man United top.
Yeah, I can see that point, but I'm just taking it as is.
You can take it as it is, and based off what he said, he's right on the money. But coming from him, he's a bit of a hypocrite because he's on the overlap whenever he is, and he's telling fans, and he's getting Gareth Roberts to speak on the general consensus. Gareth Roberts thinks that what himself and his mates in the pub talk about, the rest of the fan base should talk about.
Yeah.
Gareth Roberts thinks that there are people that are more interested in doing well in the transfer window than the league, that are perfectly happy for Liverpool to fail in order to win an argument. I mean, and these are journalists and these are podcasters and YouTubers that are dictating to what Liverpool fans should say and should feel and whatever. So I find it very hypocritical, and I'm offended, to be honest, that he hasn't picked up on how hypocritical he is.
No, that's a fair point as well, to be fair. I mean, it was, like you say, it was only the other month, wasn't it, when he was saying stuff about, like, fans shouldn't say this and that and the other, and then he turns around and says it, the defence. Like, it's just all part of the job, innit, I guess, what he does, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're either this side or you're that side. You can't go chop and change. Like, you either believe that everyone that is a Liverpool fan, whether it's local or global, whether it's a regular match goer or someone that can, go whenever they can, irrespective of that, we're all entitled to have an opinion. If you differentiate, well, the regular match goers and those on social media, you're on social media, Jamie. Garrett, you're on social media. You have a podcast on social media. Henry Winters, you're on social media. Chris Bashcombe, you're on social media. James Pearce, you're on social media. And without social media, you would not be able to do what you're doing. So don't be talking shit and saying, oh, well, I hate the way these journalists are telling us how to feel about Trent. You have told us since the whole FSG out thing how to feel, or where the net spend boys now, or these people are cranks. That's annoyed me. That really fucking annoyed me.
I guess as well, the other question is, with Trent going, then I know we've had this already, but who steps up and becomes vice captain now, do you think?
I'd put Salah.
Yeah.
I'd put Salah. I think Salah has wanted the captain's armbands and was disappointed he didn't get it. So I'd put Salah there. Salah.
We also know about, like, what's it called? Like the leadership room or something they have. Like they have the captain, which is Van Dijk, and Trent was the vice captain. But they had other players, didn't they, that was a part of this leadership group, remember? Obviously with Trent going now, who else do you reckon comes into that? I mean, first thought for me is someone like maybe McAllister or not Gravenberch, maybe he's a bit too young, but Gakpo or I don't
think
know.
Gakpo. I mean, you could say Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai, yeah, Szoboszlai, yeah.
He's Hungarian. He's the Hungary captain. You could say Robertson if he's staying on because he's the Liverpool or the Scottish captain. So you know,
David said there that he'd give the vice to Maka. Do you if it's not Salah, then let's say it's not Salah, because we kind of think it will be, but if it's not, who else? What are the other candidates we've got? So McAllister, we've got there. Szoboszlai, Andy Roberts. No, Andy Robertson's contract's coming to an end, isn't it? Who else have we got? Who else could we say could be vice captain?
Well, I think Maka. I think that would be a good shout, but I don't think there would be any. I think he will look, and I don't think it would be right if he looked past anyone senior than Salah.
No, I fully expect it to be Salah, but I was just saying, you know, if it wasn't Salah, who could it be?
If it wasn't Salah, Maka,
Alisson, yeah, he could be.
Or Alisson,
yeah, good shout that, Gareth.
But I mean, Alisson, we don't know whether he's going or not.
No, I suppose not. No. What else have we got to discuss? There was something I saw earlier about Luis Diaz saying that it's not for certain that he will have contract discussions this summer or something along them lines. I'm sure it was something like that. What do you think about
that? I don't know what to think. I mean, the whole kind of anytime there's talks of contracts, or if I look at the players that are needing a contract extension, I get very worried. It's almost as I get massive anxiety even thinking about that, as much as I get the anxiety from transfer windows. I fucking hate transfer windows, and I've hated them for a long, long time. Diaz, I mean, I've heard kind of rumors here and there that he's perfectly happy at the club. And then I've heard rumors that he's wanting to move elsewhere. He's wanting a pay increase. I think he's on, 50,000? Is it something like that?
It's like 50, 70,000, something on the lines, yeah.
I think, a player that is playing regularly, should be, in football terms, on more than that. And if he can get it somewhere else, he'll probably go somewhere else. And I think that's the problem with Liverpool, is that although, and I would have to, I think Mo Tratra would be the perfect person, if we could even get him on here, to kind of explain why the salary has gone up, or the wages have gone up, because we've got less players than we had under Klopp. So I wondered, is it down to the restructure and Edwards and Julian Ward and Hughes coming in? Has that added to the bill, or are they just looking at the players? I don't know.
I don't know, actually.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would have thought that there would be separate pots. You'd have staff, and you would have players. I would have thought anyway.
But it's like a fucking family tree of the royal family. The whole setup with Liverpool, and he does this and I do that and this, whatever. So do you know what I mean? So yeah. I'm wondering, is that what's putting up the wage bill?
Yeah. Ricky, we've got this weird how we've got the second highest wage bill in the Premier League. Ricky says here, if he wasn't a starter or weren't good, I would understand him moving, but he has been a starter for arguably one of the best teams in Europe, and that's why for me, I ain't having all of this waffle from him, which is fair enough, man.
Is this Trent or Diaz?
Trent, I presume.
Yeah.
Lee Miles says good riddance. Ricky in regard to vice captain, he said Canate if he renews. Sorry. And Copite Scott leavers. See you later, Gareth, mate.
See you later, mate. Gareth.
And we've got Richard the Red with us.
Good
Hope
man,
you're doing
Richard
well,
Red. It's a difficult one. It really is. It's a like. I think someone asked there about like the restrictions in the summer.
Oh yeah, it was Miss Scusi. Yeah. I mean, for me, what I mentioned, what I mean by that is there has been the rumblings now that because Salah and Van Dijk have both signed 400k deals, that there's not going to be as much money anymore. Which, for me, like, let's just say, for instance, that Trent's on 150 grand a week. It might be on more, it might be on less. Let's just go somewhere there. Virgil, Salah's only had a 50 grand pay rise. So that's 50 grand out of Trent's wage. And then Virgil's had nearly double his salary. So you'd take the 100 that you're saving from Trent, for instance. Let's just say if it is 150, you've only got to fork out another 100k a week. So how is that, I'm sorry, going to affect transfer budget?
I think it's a whole FSG thing, and I know people are saying there's Sean with the conspiracy theories. I know probably Garrett, if he's watching, he'll say, "Oh, there's Sean with the conspiracy theory," but something just does not add up. How we can have the highest wage bill, and yet we're offloading these players, and some of them are going on the free, some of them were selling. We sold a shitload.
Hold on a minute, sorry, mate. So apparently, according to salarysport.com, Trent earns 192 grand a week. So it's even better then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. William White says, firmly believe Trent's skill set can be replaced by a competent midfielder. Thanks for all the memories. Enjoy Spain. Time to focus on a goal scorer. Yeah, mate, I 100% agree with that. Last sentiment. Need a goal scorer. Wish him all the best. Like, end of the day, man, I think it's shitty the way he's gone. I'll just say this. I think it's shitty the way he's gone. He's obviously planned it out. Like, he really has. He could have done something so the club got a little bit of something for him. Even if it was just like, look, I'm going to sign a new contract, put a 40 million release clause in there. Do you know what I mean? Something small like that. Then fine, man. You know what I mean? Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? But the fact that he's gone and done that, it does tarnish him. It really does. There's people obviously in the people that are from Liverpool, in my opinion, would probably feel it a little bit more than the rest of us, because obviously, you know, I can kind of get where they're coming from, because when I look at someone like Elliot, English, Liverpool fan, but if he was to leave the club, I wouldn't be too bothered. Well, I'd be bothered, but not as bothered as I would be with Trent going, because he's from Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So I guess the people that are from that area who've seen him grow up and he's lived the dream that they've wanted, blah, 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 and they'd kill to be in that position. They'd play for nothing to do what he's done. And then he just goes because he wants whatever.
Thanks, Jen. I think, like, again, I don't necessarily agree or like this guy, but Neil Atkinson from Anfield Rap, I think, made some valid points, and I think, I think there is a disappointment there because he is a local lad, and he's gone, and the way he's gone, and I think, I think anyone from that area is going to be very disappointed on how he left. Again, I would be reluctant to kind of put too much criticism on him, on the basis that we did that before with Torres, Suarez, Genie, and then, the truth came out with all of these players, Milner, Bobby. So I would be inclined to be very careful with what I say until, a book comes out or something, or the truth comes out. because right at this moment he's not going to be able to speak out too much about it.
I kind of agree with that, me. Brilliant player, Arnold, but he does not want to be here, so we as a club move on. But Scouser LFC players, please don't say you are red through and through. So I agree with that. Real Madrid want Trent Alexander before his contract ends for the Club World Cup. Yeah, they do, mate. There's a lot of do you know, like, I've seen people online going, "Oh, we could ask for 10 million for him to be gone." Nah. It'd be fucking peanuts. It's not even worth it. I just like, yeah, contract's over, mate. Get your thing going.
Offload, rid, yeah.
We'll save the wages. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna really sit there and argue with Real Madrid over like 50 grand, 100? Do you know what I mean? Or a week's wage. What's the point?
No, there really isn't any point. And I mean, I think if we've left it this long, and you know,
I literally would just tear his contract up in a nice way and be like, "Off on your way. See you later." Obviously, at the end of the season.
The news, and again, was watching Sky Sports News, and they were saying that even before Richard Hughes got the job, was appointed as sporting director for Liverpool, that he was in talks with Trent.
Yeah, that's what I read out earlier.
Was in talks with Trent. Now, I don't know how that's possible.
Why?
I just don't. I like how does all of a sudden, like, my logic behind that is this, right? Think of Virgil and think of Salah, what they have been saying over the last 6 to 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, but
they haven't been approached.
Go on.
No, I know, but they hadn't been approached up until Christmas. Salah had not been approached. He
lied. He lied.
I don't believe he lied. Why would he have lied?
Because I don't believe for one instance that Liverpool agreed a contract with Mo Salah in the space of 2 weeks.
I don't believe that they. No. I don't believe that they did it within 2 weeks. But I don't believe. I think when we heard of Rami Abbas going to, was it London or going to Liverpool, I reckon that's when it was talked about. But up until the Christmas, he wasn't approached. And I mean, it was the same thing for Virgil. Virgil was going on, you know, he was more, or he, like Mo was saying, I'm more out than in. Virgil was saying, if anyone is saying that we're close to contract, you've got another thing coming.
I just don't believe it.
That's fine. But I mean, you know, we've all been scratching our heads wondering what the fuck Richard Hughes has been doing. So before he actually gets the job, before he's appointed sporting director, he's already talking to Trent. That's like what you call it, Arne Slot taking over managing Liverpool or being head coach of Liverpool before the end of the season where Klopp retires.
No, but I think in that situation, I think Slot obviously knew before the end of the Liverpool season that he was going to be the manager. And I also think he would have been doing his homework on the players already, watching film and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's like Slot said the other day in his interview, he said, I've already spoken to players that I want to sign this summer. He shouldn't have said that because that's illegal, but he's said it. So it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if Richard Hughes knew he was coming to Liverpool and he was just like, right, just so you know, I know I haven't technically started yet or whatever, but I'm going to come in. We'll get your contract sorted out as soon as I can. We'll get it sorted. Blah, 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 whatever. Just, I can see it happening. Stuff like that. It's not like other jobs, is it? I mean,
no, it's not like other jobs. I'm not saying it is, but I don't believe, like, I'm very skeptical of what I hear in the media, what I read in the media, for very good reason. Because I've seen U-turns, I've seen false information. I'm sounding like Trump here. I've seen, you know, false information been sent out, and them not backtracking and saying, oh, well, that's the information we got or whatever. I've seen, the clique all saying the same thing, all regurgitating the same thing. When they're talking about something, they bring up like the whole fucking, and we scored, we won that game, but let's not forget, Gillette and Hicks, nearly put us in administration. We've got FSG to thank for, and then and they regurgitate the same crap. So anything that I hear from the media or anything that I read from the media, I don't actually take on. I just don't take it on. I really don't. And I don't believe that anybody can speak for Liverpool fans. And a lot of these podcasters and YouTubers think they can. And this is not what AKM LFC is about.
No. We've got some comments here as well. So Ricky said, if you love the club, you don't do what he does. Moving ain't the problem. Running your contract down deliberately is the problem. Agreed. Who did you say? Sorry.
That's Norman.
Norman, that's right. Sorry. You must remember also these pods like the Anfield crap and the Red Shite TV also get press passes and are in with the club, so they will always toe the line with what they say. They have too much to lose.
That's
Phil Ash, do you think Trent would have gone to Real Madrid if Bellingham wasn't there? Well, I'm presuming that if Jude Bellingham wasn't there, he'd be at Liverpool. So probably, yeah.
That's a difficult one.
Maybe.
That's down to opinion. You just don't know.
Watching a year time, Trent and Bellingham are now having a baby together. Norman again. I couldn't give a shit if a Scouser plays for our club. I want to be the best 11, even if we have 11 Chinese, whatever nationality. Our success was built on jocks.
Exactly.
Ricky, you're a true red based on your love behaviour to the club, not because you're a Scouse.
Exactly.
And William White, I think the difference is official talks versus unofficial talks. Had the players been officially approached with a contract offer? I don't believe so, but I believe unofficial, cordial conversations happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You could look. You could be right. You could be right in that one, William. But from what Salah had said, especially, Virgil was as cool as a cucumber. But what Salah had said, whether there was unofficial cordial convos or not, it did not look like he was approached.
I don't want to keep going backwards and forwards over the Salah stuff.
No, I know.
But I do think that Salah and Virgil would just probably not much. In fact, not even Virgil, because Virgil did say, "Yeah, we are talking, blah 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 blah," but there's not been an offer or whatever.
He did say that.
But Salah was like, not what we're talking about. But he was like using maybe like word salad, where he was kind of like, I've had no offer. They're not offering me out. Well, yeah, maybe they haven't.
No one's approached me.
Maybe no. Maybe they've not approached him, but they might have approached his agent.
Yeah, but surely he would not. Like, you see, that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's word salad. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And then him going, I ain't had an offer. Well, no, you haven't had an offer. But maybe they've gone, how much do you want? How many years do you want? Blah, 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 blah. It's not like a written document go with a stamp of approval going, yeah, there you go. And that's your offer.
I get what you're saying, but do you think that if the club approached Remy Abbas, that Salah wouldn't have known about it?
I think Salah is a very intelligent man, and I think Salah loves playing sometimes the games. Did you see the video of him when he was in the car, and then Liverpool fans were talking to him, and they were saying, "Have you signed? Have you signed?" He's like, "No, I haven't signed. No," and he had. Like,
oh look, I mean, I love Salah. I love him to bits, and I love Virgil. So, I mean, the fact that he's the first Dutch player about to lift up the Premier League is incredible,
manager as well.
And the first Dutch manager as well. And, you know, I couldn't be happier about it. I'm sad that Trent is leaving and the way he's leaving. I really am. But I have to say, I appreciate everything that he's done for the club. I'm just not happy with the way he's left. That's it. And regardless of how he's left, why he's left, regardless of whether the club did enough or did nothing, is irrelevant. It's still the same outcome. He's leaving, and we move on. And the old saying goes: "Is there's no player bigger than Liverpool Football Club." We move on, and hopefully, we get enough of a transfer kitty, and maybe there's some truth to this big transfer kitty that we'll get. And for the first time in, I don't know, 15 odd years, that maybe we will get a big one, a big transfer kitty, and we will be able to bring in the players needed. Necessary spending, not football manager, you know, on the PS4 or the Xbox One kind of talk of you know, throwing $1 billion to this or whatever. I'm talking about necessary spending.
Yeah.
And we need to beef up that squad.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bond says, wasn't Ashworth caught doing business for United before he got the job? Yeah, he was. I think the difference was, though, between him going to United and Richard Hughes going to Liverpool, was that Man United and Newcastle hadn't agreed terms or anything like that. They hadn't agreed anything, whereas I think Liverpool and Bournemouth with Richard Hughes was done pretty quickly. It was done. So that, I think that's the little bit of a difference there with the Ashworth and United and Newcastle, because I think Newcastle was trying to take them to, I don't know if the word tribunal is the right word to use, but they were trying to take them somewhere for tapping up Dean Ashworth or whatever it was. Didn't last long anyway, did he? He got sacked within like 6 months, something like that. So that was a waste of time. Norman says that Ricky is spot on with his last comment.
Yeah.
Norman says, so do we sign an experienced right back to cover Bradley, or do we go for the young lad like Reed at Feyenoord, who I rate very highly, although who am I to judge? I think I mentioned that Reed lad, didn't I, in my last transfer video? Actually, I can announce this now. Now that we've actually got the Trent shit done, I can actually do my 2.0 for what I would do in the upcoming transfer window. I did it last time, and I'm sure I mentioned that Giovanni Reed is a right back.
He hasn't. Adam hasn't half plugged that video. I mean, he's been plugging that video for the last. I mean, there should be thousands of views on that, but he's been plugging that, and I have to say, I've watched all of it, all 2 hours and 40 something.
In 2 hours long.
It was an amazing video. In all fairness, it was an amazing video. So check it out. But I would be very interested in seeing the 2.0. See what happens.
Yeah, I'll work on that and try to get it out before. Well, I'll put it up for members first, and then I'll put it out to everybody else afterwards. Here we go. I'm going to put a link to it in the chat now. Hold on a moment. If anyone has not watched it yet, there you go. Go give it a whirl. Let me know your thoughts on that. So back to your question, Norman. It's a tough one, you know, because there's that Nottingham Forest right back whose contract's expiring at the end of the season. I can't pronounce his name. I think it's like Anina or something like that, and I think he's 28 years of age. When I saw him and the season he's had for Nottingham Forest, I was like, you've got FSG signing written all over you, mate. You really have. But at the same time, like,
if he's a free transfer, I'd go for him.
He's 28 years of age. And if he's going to come in knowing that he's like the backup for Bradley, then fine. The problem I think you find if you were to sign someone like Giovanni Reed, for instance, I think he's 18, might be 19 now or something. You're signing someone of that age to potentially become the successor to Bradley. So for me, I think it depends on what happens at centre-back. I think if Kanate goes and Gomez wants to go, then you sign another right-back and 2 central defenders. But if Kanate stays and Gomez stay, I think you sign one centre defender, and I think Gomez becomes the backup to Bradley.
I personally think that we have a lot of work to do in the defence area and up front, and I think that's where where we did that with the midfield. I think we're going to have to do that with the defence, definitely.
Sorry to skip ahead a few comments, but I just love this one again from now. I do not and will not ever trust FSG. If they told me it's warm out and sunny outside, I'd put my coat on and to get my umbrella.
Yeah, well, you know my stance on it, Norman, and again, I couldn't agree more.
Jen says, who will be the next vice captain? She says Maka. I think it's probably going to be Salah.
I hope it's Salah.
I'd be surprised if it's anybody else, but Maka is a good shout as well, as would be Szoboszlai, in my opinion, as well.
You have to go with who's the most senior, and Salah has been there for 9 years. So I think if Salah didn't get it, he'd be pissed.
Yeah. Bond says, I don't believe FSG was going to give 3 of them new deals out. No, I mean, I don't think I really ever did either. I mean, there was Tag on X. I think he said months ago, he put like a song out, Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 or something like that. He put that up, I think 10 months ago, if not longer ago. And he quote tweeted it again today when the news came out, and I was like, "Yeah, one to watch is that guys. He knows his shit. Does that guy?
He knows his shit, Tag. Yeah."
Phil, who do you think will be? Oh, if we just covered that one off, and that's the transfer 1.0 video, guys. And I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but there you go. Norman again says that Reed is aggressive and very good crossing, and I'm on to move a ball. Yeah, again. I think you sign someone like Giovanni Reed if you've got question marks about Bradley, long-term future at the club, or you just sign somebody to come in as like a stopgap thing. I think, presumably. Miscusi, I think Bradley would be the successor to a new right back. Just my opinion. So if someone's going to come in and be the new number 1 right back. I think that only happens if you sign someone like Frimpong, but. Again, I don't necessarily think he fits the scheme. There's people out there, scouts enough that talk about Frimpong that say he's not good enough to be a winger, and he's not good enough. No, he's not good enough at attacking to be a winger or something like that. But then he's not good enough at defending to be a right back. So he's something in the middle. And I don't think either Frimpong can do that inverted thing that Trent was doing coming into midfield. I don't think he can do that. So again, you're changing what you're doing. Norman again. What about Ali as vice captain? Yeah, again, another good shout. I think there's long-term question marks over Virgil. Not Virgil, sorry. Ali, in my opinion. I would not be surprised if 70-80 million pound offer came in for him this summer that Liverpool would sell him. From Saudi especially, but they'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, I think the 3, if you're looking at them, is what Jen says in the next comment, is it's Ali, it's Maka, or it's Salah. They're the 3 that are going to be the vice captain, in my opinion. I think it's probably most likely going to be Salah. Miscusi, FSG stands for Financial Club and Game. And then Norman says that he sees Kwanzaa going, but just a guess. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier on, Norman. I feel like he's just not mentally strong enough, especially when he makes a mistake. He needs to work on that. And Bond says that Bradley is injury prone, which I think we've found that out this season. I think,
yeah, which is why I think we need backup at right back and then possibly left back. I mean, Timikas apparently is going to be leaving, so we need a left back there as well. And if Kanate is going, we definitely need a centre back. I mean, I think we could need about 4 or 5 players in defence, and then maybe a defensive midfielder and an attacker, number 9.
Just to say, Jen, I have got your email, so I will get that sent out to you ASAP.
Great little price, Jen. Well done on that.
I'll get that sent out to you ASAP.
And again, anyone that wants to join our membership, it's from $1.99 to $2.99 per month. And you have an opportunity of winning a spot prize. And there'll also be videos that will be on private for our VIP members. We eventually make them public, but you know, some really, really interesting content there. They even did an interview with me.
Yeah, and mine.
And
Norman says Altonora may well be the one at left back. I know Kirkhead is looking like one, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this time last year, Ryan Altonora was like being linked with Liverpool consistently, but there's just a part of me that thinks I'm going to say I think Kirkhead is pretty much done now. I would not be surprised if Milos Kirkhead is not the first signing this summer for Liverpool.
I think Szoboszlai is having a chat with him on that.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is look at his social media as well. Like, he's literally liking everything for Liverpool. And then when Liverpool fans are commenting and saying, you know, come over to be red, he's liking it. You don't do shit like that if off that. Miss Scusi, I think I'm due a prize to take everyone else's name off that spinner thing image. Jiggy. You know what? Scott said something to me last month as well. Not the one that's just gone, but the one before where JT won. And because it literally was like, it went just past Scott's name and landed on JT. And he was just like, oh, you fucking bastard. Like, la, 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 la. And Norman says as well that it does seem to be Kirkhead's a bit like the way Mako was as well. Yeah. We're joined now by another AKM member, Martin. How you doing?
Not so bad. Not so bad. All right, boys. I've got to say it all the time. It's just me. How you doing?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah.
Before we do the quiz and that, I want to get your thoughts on the Trent thing, mate.
I was always right. He was always going. Mate, a bit disappointed, but you know what? We owe him nothing. He owes us nothing. He's won everything with us. He's been with us since he was at 6. All the best to him. Give him a big shout out. Let him go. He'll only be regretting it, you know, as they all do. And I say fair fucks to him. You know, what more could we ask from him? And I've just commented on a post on someone on the TikTok and stuff with the devil signs all over him. I'm like, why? What are you doing this for? You know, there's no need. We do not. And the abuse I got back from it was like, I was just buzzed off and said, these are all weapons. You know, everyone's slagging him off. I think he's been quite professional about it. Yeah, he's kept his mouth closed, but he's kept it closed until we've won the league. We give that to him. But, you know, fair play to him. He wants to move on. He's moved on. And just enjoy it. We've got 86 now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of do agree. Like, there's a part of me over the past, like, since the beginning of this year where I'm trying not to, like, get stressed out by shit I've got no control over. So, yeah. Like, end of the day, he's gone. Yeah, it's a bit of a shit thing that he's gone, not getting any money in for him, but okay, do you know what I mean?
We just need to hold strong and make sure, and I really hope that FSG do the right thing and say, no, 500 grand for you to buy Motor's contract is not, so we can go and play in this World Cup thing. It's not happening.
I just don't see that happening. I might be wrong, but I literally do think that they'll just tear it up and just send him on his way. But
yeah, well, they would do if he relinquishes the last 9. Was it 900 grand? That 9, whatever it was.
His wages,
contract, wage, you know, then fair enough. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
But is it right in saying, okay, well, you're going to go? We've won the league. It's not going to upset the apple cart. The performance you put in the other day, you know, it's one of them. It is what it is. But we're champions. Like me thing says at the bottom, 20 is not forever. If he doesn't want 21, not our problem.
Yeah, exactly. Mate.
If he doesnn't want to be captain, the total number 21 or 22. No, if he,
that as well. Yeah, we can't. We've got to wish him all the best. We've done it with Coutinho, Suarez. You know, I was broken when that man won. Torres. You know,
Gerrard,
everyone,
Alonso.
Emir Can, they all wanted the whole of Liverpool's just a stepping stone. We can't use that for Trent because Trent's been there for 20 years. He's never used Liverpool as a stepping stone. He's completed everything. Everyone else has. They've all failed.
Let's see what happens when he goes to Madrid. I think I'll be keeping an eye on it. And if I, I might mention it a couple of times on the channel. I won't do dedicated videos or all, but I might do like on the stream.
He won't be getting the same love.
No, he won't. He's just a number.
He won't be getting the same love. I mean, they are. If he thinks, and if Carragher and Gareth Roberts and all of them think that that this fan base is toxic, the Real Madrid fans will fucking slaughter him if he has a bad game or a bad run of games. They will absolutely slaughter him.
He could have a bad game, mate. Up until yesterday, and I don't agree with how the fans reacted towards him, but every time that he's had a bad game, he's always been clapped off. When he's been subbed. He gets a bad game over there, like you've just said, Sean, he's not getting clapped off. He is getting booed, and he's going to hear it, and it's going to be mental. It's going to start playing, have I made the right decision? And then his game it's going to fall down. And that's when he's going to start regretting it. God, I'm having a grown-up conversation today, aren't I?
Apparently, I've just seen this here on the Times, but I don't know who's written this. I can't see the author's name. But apparently Trent's taken a pay cut to go to Real Madrid. He's only getting 150 grand a week after tax. 5-year deal, 7.67 million per year.
I don't.
You've got on there, man. That's amazing.
What
is that?
Do you like that? Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Go get one. Go get one, Bob.
Yeah, I would get a hat, but there's no hat that'll fit my head.
Oh, as well for years, I don't know if you've seen in the chats or anything. I don't know if you're in him. Toby's pulled out of this fight. It's too close for him. He's been advised to pull out of this fight.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. It's just that because the I don't know too much about it because it's the title fight. It's a man versus boy, and this man's got a lot of experience. So it's for his own. It's
to take his time.
Yeah, it's for his own. His coach just said it's too much.
Didn't the lad before pull out as well, and then he had to take on somebody else right quick on it or something? Yeah,
and then they've looked at stuff or something. I don't know. I don't really get involved, but he's had to pull out of it.
Lads, with all this talk of pull out, I mean, if anyone is hearing us, they think that we're running a bloody OF page.
Got to get our money from somewhere.
As Norman says there, he says he's took a pay cut, but he gets one hell of a signing on fee, as does his brother. Yeah, agreed, mate.
Yeah, very true.
True. Not everything, though, is it?
Well, that's good. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Martin, before we get into the quiz?
No, I'll let you do the quiz because obviously that's the bit of the Ant and Deck show, the end of the show quiz.
Right then, guys. So
good to see you, though, Martin.
Are you staying on? Or are you going?
No, I'm staying on.
All right, yeah. We're talking then.
Fucking hell, man. I've been a good boy today. I've been having a grown-up conversation. And you want to get me off?
Very good.
Right then, guys. So we're gonna go into the quiz now. I don't know which video to play actually because I've got two. One, in fact, I'll play them both. Okay, let's see what happens.
Play them both.
There you go. And then there's this one as well. There you go.
Second one, because we've seen as a big head enough.
It's beautiful.
I've actually as well got a note of all the finalists going across the bottom now. I think I've got everyone down there. So we've got Mighty Reds, Brandon, Copites of Anfield, Gareth, got Gavin, Bond, David, Miscusi, Ricky, Brian C, Richard the Red, and Phil Ash were all finalists.
Is this the end? Is this the season finale quiz?
This
This
is
one?
the season.
No, this is the last one before we do that. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah.
I still think Richard the Red stole my spot.
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last quiz before the grand final. So, you are in with an opportunity of getting yourself into the grand final and maybe winning a little bit of a prize. You never know.
A date with Sean.
Yeah, you'd be lucky. So, question number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Let's go through the thing. Let's go through the rules and everything. So,
oh yeah, sorry.
So guys, what it is Shauna's going to ask the question.
Of course you can,
Anne. Shauna's going to ask the question with A, B, C. You guys, all you got to do is put A, B, or C in the chat. The first 3 people that get it right, I will then put a line of emojis in so we know when the cutoff point is, and everybody that gets it right in the first 3 spots gets a point. And then at the end of the quiz, whoever got the most points wins. And that's basically it, guys. So without further ado, Shauna, I will hand it back over to you.
Yeah, so basically the first 3 get points and then the rest, there you go. All right. So question number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Which player retired in 1960 after playing for Liverpool for 22 years, making 492 appearances and scoring 216 goals? So I'll just read that out again. Which player retired in 1960 after playing for Liverpool for 22 years, making 492 appearances and scoring 216 goals? Is it A, Billy Liddell? Is it B, Jimmy Malaya? Or is it C, Alan Arnold? Billy Liddell, Jimmy Malaya, or C, Alan Arnold?
I've got that count thing still. I wonder if I've still got that actually.
Where's Muscuzzi?
I think he's gone.
Muscuzzi's looking it up. Oh, Muscuzzi's there.
All right. We've got it.
So we do the countdown, maybe.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sounds like a Texas version of Trump. So the answer, yet again, is A, Billy Liddell. So from what I can see, Norman got that.
I got Norman, Ricky, and Miss Scoozy. Just make sure you're all watching live, guys, and you're not like behind as well. So if you hit like a little cursor for him, and at the bottom you can pull it all the way across, or just hit the live button and it'll move you live now, so you're live with us as well.
So I'll wait until you do that for a split second. So again, just advise you, the first 3 correct answers get a point. After that, then there you go. All right. Question number 2. Which Liverpool player has the most medals? Which Liverpool player has the most medals? Is it A, Phil Thompson, B, Kevin Keegan, or C, Phil Neal? A, Phil Thompson, B, Kevin Keegan, or C, Phil Neal?
Right. We've got it there, Shauna.
We've got it there. So the answer is C, Phil Neal. So we've got Ricky and Bon, as far as I can see.
Ricky, Norman, and Bon.
Or Norman and Bon. Sorry, Norman.
So the same way, but just different way. Different with no Bon in there. A little bit quicker there, boys.
There you go. Flying at it, lads. Have you? Okay. So number 3, question number 3. How many league titles has Phil Neal won at Liverpool? How many league titles has Phil Neal won at Liverpool? Is it A3, B4, or C5? Is it A3?
You're already in the final anyway, Miscusi, mate.
B4 or C5? Exactly. A3, B4, C5.
I think we've got it again.
We've got it again. Jesus, this is a tight one. So we've got, from what I can see, Ricky Shah, Bon,
Bon and Norman.
So the answer is C with 5. Okay. Question number 4. Emil Hughes had a testimony match in March 1979. Who were the opponents? Was it A, Manchester United, B, Everton, or C, Borussia Mönchengladbach? Emil Hughes had a testimonial match in March 1979. Who were the opponents? A, Man United, B, Everton, C, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I think we've got everyone that's playing so far in there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just put the line in. There you go. Has it gone through that line, actually?
Nothing's coming up.
I'll put it through again.
Oh, yeah. So the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, was C, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
So we had 2 people for that one. We had Ricky and Norman.
Yeah, Ricky and Norman, actually, yeah. I thought we had more than that. Now, question 5. So we're halfway there, living on a prayer. Question number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Which former Liverpool player has the middle name William Ivanhoe? Which former Liverpool player has the middle name William Ivanhoe? Is it A, Emil Heskey, B, John Aldridge, or C, Daniel Sturridge? Middle name William Ivanhoe. Is it A, Emil Heskey, B, John Aldridge, or C, Daniel Sturridge?
Wow. So we've got,
fucking hell,
on my screen, I have Norman, Bon, Miscusi. Is that the same as your screen?
Norman, Bon, and Miscusi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, David. So the answer there is Emil Heskey. Nice lad, I met him. Do you want to just do the emoji there? Because David got in there late.
Should have popped up. Is it popped up?
Now it's popped up, yeah. Question number 7. Oh, no, sorry, question number 6. So this is question number 6. So this is a who said this. So there is no multiple choice here. All right. So this is a bit of a, may throw you off. So someone said this: I'm best manager in Britain because I never cheated. I'd break my wife's legs if I played against her, but I'd never cheat. So I'm best manager in Britain because I never cheated. I'd break my wife's legs if I played against her, but I'd never cheat. Fantastic quote. Fantastic quote. That's a very good quote.
Just give it a bit more and I'll do the countdown, I think. Right, we'll do the 10-second countdown.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
So the answer to that was indeed the great Bill Shankly, who said that he was the best manager in Britain because I've never cheated. I break my wife's legs if I played against her, but I've never cheated. Oh, what a legend! So the person that has got the answers is Norman,
Ricky and
Ricky,
Muscusi.
and Muscusi. Have we got that written down?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So question number 7. We're back to the multiple
Sorry, can I
choice.
just ask? Right,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on your screens, but I can see. I don't know if it's by any other name, but Anne keeps getting in quite fast on a few of these and it's not being read out.
That's
That's
Norman.
Anne is Norman.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. we have the adjudicator in Warrington.
Just making sure.
Just making sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I know Norman. Okay, so question number 7. So we're back to multiple choice. How many goals did Emil Heskey score for Liverpool? How many goals did Emil Heskey score for Liverpool? Is it A, 70, B, 60, or C, 85? Is it A, 70, B, 60, or C, 85?
I loved Eskimi when he was at Leicester before he came to us. I thought he was
Yeah.
a right player.
He was a great player. Under Martin O'Neill as well.
Mm.
Only because you want to be under Martin O'Neill.
What was the one? What was the what letter does Bond equal? Sorry,
What do you say then?
Bond
Bond
said
60. So what's that?
So that's B.
Right. So we've got it. So we've got Miscusi, Norman, and Bon.
Yeah. So the answer is 60. Scored 60 goals. Now, question number 8. How many goals did Daniel Sturridge score for Liverpool? Was it A, 80, B, 67, or C, 45? How many goals did Daniel Sturridge score for Liverpool? A, 80, B, 67, or C, 45?
I loved Studge as well, when he played for Liverpool.
He was great.
I thought he was amazing.
The SAS combination.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what?
Injuries.
I thought we were only coming on live at 7, mate. That's why I said before. I'm only come on at 7. Didn't know we've been on for nearly 2 hours. No.
Yeah.
Just for today, yeah. I did put it in the chat. Right,
So,
then. I think we've got it, mate. Anyway, I think
the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, is B, 67. So we've got Norman, we've got Bon, and we've got Muscusi.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say something, but I didn't want to give it away too much. But when you said the numbers, I didn't know the answer, but I was thinking 45's too low, but 80's too much.
Yeah.
Based on his injuries.
Yeah. I kind of threw it out there, didn't I? Okay, so question number 9. We're almost there, lads. How many goals did Liverpool score in the 2000-2001 in all competitions? So how many goals did Liverpool score in 2000-2001 in all competitions? Was it A, 107, B, 117, or was it C, 127? So I'll just call that again. How many goals did Liverpool score in all competitions in 2000-2001? Was it A, 107, B, 117, or C, 127?
Doesn't sound a lot for a season in all competitions, if you really, does it?
Yeah.
That's when we won the treble as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we won 5 of 6 trophies that season, didn't we?
Something like that, maybe, yeah. Wow. I think we've got everybody who's playing in there now.
Have we? Just do the countdown there, just in case.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, the only person that got that right, well, the answer is C, 127. So the only person that got that right was David Crompton, if I'm
Well
correct.
done, David.
Well done, David. Okay, so the last question, unless there's a tiebreaker. Question number 10. In the 1963-64 was Liverpool's first successful championship title campaign since when? So 1963-64 was Liverpool's first successful championship title campaign since when? Was it A, 1900 to 01? Was it B, 1922 to 23? Or was it C, 1946 to 47? A, 1900 to 01, B, 1922 to 23, or C, 1946 to 47.
Let's do the countdown. Where's my media assets? There we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, was 1940. It was C, 1946 to 47. So Norman.
I think Norman put the answer in before he'd even finished the question.
Yeah, Norman got it. Ricky Shaw and Muscuzzi.
Right. Let me do my counting now then, shall we?
Okay. Really, really good turnout, and really, I don't know how close that is, but I have a fair idea who has won this. I think there's only one. They only got one question that was wrong.
It was interesting. It was nice to hear the quiz back.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Mm. It sounded like you actually took your time this time instead of just Googling it all.
There's a lot of time and effort put in, you dickhead.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sean, you're looking better.
Thanks, man.
You look like you got a bit of colour in your face.
I got the haircut, but well, the weather's been amazing over the last couple of days, but my back and leg have been at me.
My back, my neck. It's my butt.
I have to go to see a consultant at the end of on the 29th of May. So just back from Liverpool.
Jeez, man, I only told you that you were looking all right. I didn't want your life story.
Oh, fuck it. There you have it, you bitch.
So we have a clear winner tonight.
A clear winner. Can I guess?
I want to guess as well.
Oh no. Actually, no. Do you want to do like third?
I'm gonna do bottom to top. So
okay.
In last was David. Unfortunately, I think they're just a little bit not quick enough for some of the answers, mate. But yeah. And then we had Bon next with 5. Then we had a tie for second place. Both of these people had 6, which was Miscusi and Ricky, which means that the winner of today's quiz was Norman with 9. Literally.
Norman, is that your first quiz that you've been in? Because with you say before, can you join in?
Yeah, no, Norton, and this was the first. Norman, I think, had been on Frank Carlisle's show, and Ricky Shaw says, "Fuck's sake, really wanted that date with Sean." All right, Stephen, you just missed a good quiz there.
Well, look at that first one, and he's on and he's won it.
His first one is after absolute kicking ass in that one. So you're through to the final, or Norman, sorry. So if you want to keep up to date with us, usually we do these streams at 7:00. So you're on your wife's account. Yeah, no, I know that. You've mentioned that.
How many
Yeah.
questions is the final?
Huh?
I think we should do 15 or something. Make it a little bit longer. I don't know. Bit bigger the final.
Yeah, I'll do 15.
Got to do like you do the first 10 questions, and the bottom 2 go out of it, and the rest of them carry on into the top 5.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah,
Not bad. So,
not a bad
thanks
idea.
for doing that for us, Sean. It's been a while since we've done that. I mean,
I really
I
enjoyed
think
that actually.
going into the new season, I think I want to maybe spruce it up a little bit, change some of the rules a little bit. I don't know, maybe make it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like one rule, for instance, I've got in my head is if someone gets the question right and they're the only person that get that question right, they get like 2 points or something, or 3 points.
Yeah.
Like
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, yeah. Right then. Anything else we want to speak about, lads?
Look, well, first of all, give number 19 apparel.co. Give them a look out. Tell them that AKM LFC have sent you. They've got great stuff. Also, check out on Redbubble SD Designs 2020 and also AKM LFC on Redbubble, because we've got some really good stuff. I'm after bringing some really good stuff on SD Designs 2020. So if you want to get your banners and ready for the big parade, I would start getting ordering now, because you will not be guaranteed, if you leave it too long, you may not be guaranteed that you'll get it in time. So there you go. I will be at the end of the season parade, but I'll also be in the Sandon. So for those who want to meet up, more than welcome. I think I'm meeting Muscuzzi.
Fuck Muscuzzi, don't do it, man.
I think I'm meeting Muscuzzi and a few others there, so you'll see me in the Sandon. I think you bought a ticket or whatever, so there'll be a few of us there. I'll be meeting a few people there as well, so it should be good crack. And then we're in the middle of all of that in Anfield, which will be absolutely amazing. Then
Sean, don't forget to take him to the Chippy.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to be meeting a mate then in the Flatiron then as well. But then obviously Monday, I think the parade starts at 2:30. So I think I'm going to be somewhere near the Adelphi. So I have to organise that with Adam, and we'll take it from there. We'll have a banner or two there as well. So yeah, that's about it. The other thing is that I want to just say is that if you want it, like if you're bothered by Trent leaving, do not delete or burn this jersey. Do not burn this jersey.
Sorry, Sean, are you trying to talk about something serious and I popped up my Muscuzzi?
Shauna, look for me in the sand, and the big sexy blonde at the bar will be the little ugly bearded man next to her. Damn sure. Yeah. But no, listen, anyone that is online or otherwise, if you decided to get a Trent Alexander-Arnold on your jersey, do not burn a Liverpool jersey. It is completely sacrilegious. You've got the liver bird, and you've got the memory of the 97, commemorating the 97 on the back of that. To burn a Liverpool jersey is just wrong. It's your choice who you put on it, and there's always the danger of those players leaving. Do not fucking do it, because you're not a Liverpool fan otherwise.
Yeah. On speaking about parades, actually, before I go, I just want to say I was at the Leeds parade today.
I seen that, mate. I seen you saying about that. I told Gemma, I said, what a traiting bastard he is.
Hey, whoa. I am a Liverpool fan, but the stepkids are not. They are Leeds fans.
Thank you, Stephen.
Fucking get them fixed.
I'll tell you one thing for nothing, right? Thanks, Stephen, for your comments. I don't
Cheers,
think I've
mate.
seen Kevin or Stephen about. The one thing that I'll tell you one thing. I mean, Leeds don't have much going for them, but they do have one thing going for them, and that's that Emma Jones. Oh my God. It was like God had spent, a good bit of time sculpting this lady, and sweet mother divine. I'd make her my wife like that.
Hey, we shared our wife.
Yeah, well, okay, but like Jesus Christ, she's just beautiful.
I don't know if you spoke about it, Adam. I know you want to go, but I don't know if you've spoken about it. But I think if Gerrard went to that club as manager, he'd fucking kill it, mate. He'd kill that club.
Which club?
Leeds.
Oh yeah. Nah, Daniel. I think
He needs to go up with that team. He needs to.
they've got Daniel Farke will stay. I mean, to see everyone come out like everyone was like it was good, like to see, like I was thinking of all my friends and everybody that are Liverpool Leeds fans, and I was like, you know what, this is for you guys, you know what I mean, like and everything like that. And it was good to see all fucking pyrotechnics and everything like that. You know what, actually I want to get my hands on some flares if anyone knows.
Don't ask the toffees, mate.
Oh Jesus, if you can get some flares, give me a shout, will you? Because I want one as well.
So that was a
good.
I'll
end up getting a blue one.
I'll end up getting one in the face.
I saw a few people. It was a good crack, to be fair. Yeah, I will say this one thing though. We were stood there for like 2 hours, and the bus went past in like 10 minutes, if that. So,
yeah, but that's when the kids can turn around and say, "Do you know what? I was there."
Exactly. Yeah. Sure, no, man.
We've got Linda. We've got Gemma. We've got we've got the other Gemma. How many more do you need? And how many have you been dicked by? You dicked? None? Shush.
Norman, I think it's usually 9, 8, 4. Oh, that's funny. But yeah,
you can actually see you can actually see me in the crowd, right? And it was funny because I'm stood there. I'm just being sent a picture of me. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on there. No, light's glaring. Hold on a minute. Let me move that out of the way. If I see that there, that's me at the Leeds parade today.
Shocking, Adam. Have you got your Leeds top on?
No. Oliver, the eldest, was on the bus stop behind me.
No.
You'll have to put that in the group so we can see it.
Yeah. And then you can see Becky stood right side of me there.
That's crazy.
The 4 troublesome people.
And look at this one. You can just see me stood there.
So you're like literally, you can see you in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Put them on the AKM group so we can have a proper look.
Yeah, we'll do.
That's so funny. And just to put it
I'm
out
the only
there,
person stood there that's not doing anything. Just like I'm not
I'm waiting for the 26.
Just to confirm, Adam is not a Leeds fan. Not a Leeds fan.
I think you could see that I wasn't. I looked so. I'm just stood there like hands in pockets, like.
Yeah, but that's like Man City when they won the 4 in a row.
No, so... Adam's a Burnley fan, really. He had his Burnley top on underneath.
If you burn a Liverpool shirt, you need to get life. Sad twats. Absolutely, Norman. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I still have a Torres jersey. I actually have. There's a video of me kind of dancing. Well, I'm not really dancing. There's like basically there's a video, and it's a video kind of split in two. So there's a video of me, and then there's a video of someone dancing.
I've seen that.
And I'm dancing with the replica of the Premier League, and I'm wearing the World Club Cup badge that the Premier League wouldn't allow us wear for the majority of that season.
But tough watch.
I had Trent Alexander-Arnold in that jersey, and that is still in my wardrobe, and it's not going anywhere. So if you're going to go and start just stop. Just don't.
Yeah. Right then, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping on. And again, Sean, thanks for doing that quiz and everybody who
No bother.
participated. We'll be back again next week at our normal time at 7. Other than that, I'll have videos churning out for you when there's something to talk about. And then yeah, I guess I'll work on this transfer video 2.0.
Sorry.
Ones are on as well. I just want to especially use two, and I know the other when we put the GoFundMe thing out for Harley, where we've just been accepted. He's had everything gone through. It's all been accepted.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that's great stuff, mate. Appreciate
That's great
that.
News.
Great
That's
news.
great news. That's
Thanks for letting us know,
brilliant
mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But yeah, right then, guys.
No
I'll end it
offense
now.
taken, Norman. We're
Yeah,
not-
no
we're
offense
not-
taken on whatsoever, mate. But yeah, right then. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Guys, thanks for watching. Get this hat if you want from the AKM store on Redbubble. I'm not joking. But yeah, if you do want one, you can get one. And then I will be at the parade as well with Sean, as mentioned earlier. But
Unfortunately, I won't be there due to being in Turkey.
yeah.
He's getting the teeth and the hairline done, which I'll.
I'm going over to speak to some of the Turkish players from Galatasaray. And I'm going to try and bring them over on the trip.
Osherman.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So congratulations to Jen for winning that prize there in the draw, and congratulations to Norman, who is now into the grand final of the quiz. So well done, guys.
Can we have some special music for the quiz?
Yeah.
I thought I played some, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, special music.
I'll try and make some special.
No. We need to have Crank the Flange.
I don't know whether I'd give you copyrights to that, but if you want.
Crank the quiz.
No, you've lost it there. But anyway, that's all I've got to say.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you later on, guys. Cheers, bye.